And if you think back and say, well, what was I doing before I had a relationship? You realize that you were probably doing lots of things for yourself, developing yourself, whether it was through reading or through exercise or through some project, work, or whatever it was that you were into, and you were focused. You were focused on life. And because you were focused on life, you were attractive because you seemed like you don't need anything. You were free. And people like other people who seem like they don't need anything, whether they pretend that or whether it's a reality. Either way, that's how you were. When you had no one in your life, special someone, when you had no relationship at the time, yes, something was missing in your life, but you were pretty in control. And that feeling of being in control and your life had order. See, we talked about order and disorder in the previous videos. When your life seemed to have an order, because there was nothing to disturb it and bring disorder, you were attractive because you felt in control, you felt happy. And that feeling of happiness and confidence and being in control of your life is very attractive to many people. And that's how that came about. But once you got comfortable with that, you got something that perhaps you were looking for or you were hoping for, and then you forgot about how you were, how you used to be, what things you were doing that made you special and attractive in different echelons, in different levels. And that's what you need to go back to yourself. Doesn't mean do exactly the same things you used to do before this relationship. You've grown and things have changed, your interests may have changed, but what you need to do is to do things that at this time you find it necessary for your development, for your enjoyment, for your feeling free and in control and create that order that you like. Because you see, if you remember, we talked about order and we talked about what it means, and we talked about when two people are together, each have a different center, and the center is the whole of them. The whole of them is where they were raised, their parents, their religion, their nationality, their customs, and their society they were raised in, the interests they had, the studies they did, the school they went to, the people they mingled to, all of that, the whole thing, their, habits, desires, dogmas, all of that was your center. And then we said that the other person, obviously, like everyone else, has a different center, has a different order in his life, different center, because he was born and raised in a different place or different family, in different school, and different people, and different things he saw, different things he read, school, books, whatever, and desires and fears and anxieties and egos and dogmas were all created through being influenced by different things in life, and that had made their center, the whole of it. And then we said your center will affect their center, your preferences and your consciousness, what's in here, which is from all these things that we just talked about, makes you act and react in different way, and makes the other person act and react in different way, which, because of that, it creates disorder in your center, and he or she creates disorder by being who they are in your center. Remember? And we said that's one of the reasons, or the real reason, that why breakups happen, because the consciousness is different, the whole self is different, the center is different, and then something new, something else with different way of doing things and thinking and habits and all those things creates a disorder into how your center has been put together, and you create disorder in how their center has been put together. So the breakup happens. Now, listen carefully. One of the reasons that you feel so awful right now is because there is a new disorder. Because the disorder that was created through your relationship with you and your partner, after a while, number of years, had become the new order for you. You had dealt with it. You had difficulties and differences, and you had talked about or fought about or debated and, went back and forth on it. And that whole thing, whether you came to some kind of a compromise or somehow you dealt with it or you just became passive about it, either one of you, but that whole thing became influential into creating a new center for you. So therefore, there was a new way of things, and it was a different order that you used to have. Now that you guys are not together anymore, now you feel a disorder again. You see, this person and this person had different centers and different orders in their life. They got together, and because they were different, they were creating disorder in each other's center. They had fights and so on, and eventually it didn't work out and broke. But before it broke, it maybe lasted a few years. And those few years affected and influenced each other's centers and each other's orders and created in your consciousness, because you're used to it now, you were affected by it, and that went in your consciousness the way the other person was, the way the other things were happening and your interactions and so on, whatever it was, that became the new order. And now that it's broken up again, it's a new disorder. But in fact, this disorder is exactly the way it was before your relationship, which was your order. So from this, you can understand why you feel terrible, because a new disorder has been created. But the good news is that this is how it was before your relationship, which was your order. So now you're back in order, but it will take time, because right now you feel this is the new order. You don't recognize it as the order, as how it was, how you loved it, how you were, how your whole thing, what your center was. You recognize it as a disorder. So I just realized that I've been talking to you again without the microphone that will give me a good quality of voice, but I'll see. If it worked, I'll keep it. If not, I gotta redo it again. However, so on that note, you can actually have hopes that you're not out in the cold. You're actually in a place that you used to know very well and very comfortable with, where you were, your center, your order. It'll take a bit of a time and you'll be fine.